Well, NBC 26 is your official Packers station. Good evening, I'm Ryan Curry. Regina has the night off. Tomorrow is a big test for the Packers as they play the Cowboys, who just suffered their first loss of the year. The Green and Gold have a riot in North Texas, and so has our crew. Sports Director Brandon Kidnard is live in Dallas with us this evening at a Packers prep rally. He has more on tomorrow's game. Good evening, Brandon.
Yeah, Ryan, greetings from North Texas, where the temperatures are approaching 100 degrees. I'm trying not to melt, but we found a nice shaded area here up high at this Packers Everywhere pep rally, surrounded by so much green and gold. We'll give you a look around right now. Multiple hundred Packers fans here in Dallas ahead of tomorrow's big game. Packers president Mark Murphy and some Packers alumni on the stage right now, prompting this great Go Pack Go cheer here in Texas. Kind of feels like home right now, but in Dallas, it's felt like home for Aaron Rodgers for pretty much his entire career. He has played so well here throughout his NFL career. It really started back in 2007 when he filled in for Brett Favre at the old Texas Stadium, and at AT&T Stadium he has never lost. That, of course, started with a Super Bowl 45 win when he won the MVP honors. And in Green Bay's last two trips down here, he has been sparkling. Both memorable finishes. Rodgers made one of the best throws of his career as he found Jared Cook to set up a game-winning field goal in 2016. And then 9 months after that, in 2017, a game-winning touchdown toss to Davante Adams to give the Packers another victory.
Just some places you feel really comfortable. I don't know. It's not really a different surface. It's a artificial grass surface. It's a beautiful stadium with the Jumbotron, and we've had some fun games there over the years, and obviously a couple big ones there against Dallas. Obviously in the playoffs, hitting Cookie there on the sidelines, and then the last time we were there, hitting Davante, to win that game was pretty special.
Rodgers noted that whenever they play in Dallas, there always seems to be a large contingent of Packers fans at AT&T Stadium. I remember being at that playoff game back in the 2016 season, and it seemed like it was about 30-35% green and gold. It was very loud whenever the Packers did something good, and that was quite often in that game. And if this room is any indication right now, that may be the case again tomorrow. It is packed with green and gold here at this Packers Everywhere pep rally in Dallas. A good sign for the green and gold as they look to get back on track and win their fifth consecutive game at AT&T Stadium, a streak that started with that Super Bowl 45 victory back in 2011. Ryan?
All right, thanks, Brandon. Well, the wet weather didn't stop more than 1,000 runners who got up bright and early this morning. After two races canceled this year from weather, the Bellin Women's Half Marathon went on without Mother Nature interfering. NBC 26's Juliana Falk shows us all the excitement from downtown today.
4, 3, 2.
And the runners were off, making strides in honor of all the work they put into training.
That's what this race is all about, empowering the women of our community, getting them stronger, healthier, more active, and we do everything we can to get them prepared, but now today what we're doing is helping them celebrate.
This is the 5th annual Bellin Women's Half Marathon, and the 2nd year Bellin Health has partnered with the Breast Cancer Family Foundation for its annual Pink Pumpkin 5K. A crowd of mostly women traveling together for 3.1 or 13.1 miles.
It's amazing to just see the flood of pink on the race course today, whether they're doing the 5K, the half, or the relay. It's just such a women's empowerment event.
And everyone out here today is participating for their own reason. For some people, it's in support of someone they know fighting breast cancer.
Stephanie Paradisilva came from Oshkosh with her running group.
We're honoring one of our crew members. Her sister is fighting breast cancer. So we have these great shirts on, Team Peggy. We're fighting for her and all those that are dealing with breast cancer.
And she encourages others to take advantage of their good health through events like this.
Support your community and be grateful that you have a heart that works and legs that can go forward. Get out there and move them.
In Green Bay, Juliana Falk, NBC 26.
The proceeds of the Bellin Women's Half Marathon and Relay benefit local female-focused causes through the Women's Fund of Greater Green Bay. The Pink Pumpkin 5K benefits the Cancer Foundation. Well, hundreds of people gathered in Appleton for a walk to end Alzheimer's. Participants who walked came through to raise money for care and research for Alzheimer's. Also happening was a garden ceremony, which was a moving display to honor people dealing with the disease. Our own Nina Sperano served as MC for today's events. Organizers say the turnout is always good to spread awareness.
It's great to see the community come together and rally together, whether it's family, friends, co-workers, those types of persons that congregate together to come today and celebrate what we have done as an association together with them as volunteers and as fundraisers.
Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. In Wisconsin, around 110,000 people are dealing with the disease. And another run and walk for charity also happening in northeast Wisconsin, this one from myeloma. In Appleton, many people gathered to run 5 miles, followed by walking another 2. All the money raised from this event will go towards research for myeloma. Organizers say this event is big to raise money for the foundation.
We have an overwhelming amount of support in this community, and I think it shows the big hearts of our community, but even the teams, there is a personal story connected to each team, and even today I even learned more.
The nonprofit group Mission Myeloma helps provide resources for people such as financial assistance, groceries, and gas, so people with the disease only need to focus on getting healthy. Well, the wet weather didn't impact any of these events like it has in the past this year. Meteorologist Gina Recchia joins us now. Gina, what's it looking like outside and for the rest of the night?
We're still tracking a little bit of rainfall, and that rain really did hold off for a lot of those morning activities, so we lucked out. Then came the steadier rains moving into the afternoon. That heavy band has now moved off into Michigan, but we still have a few sprinkles that will stick around for the next couple of hours. We're seeing some clearing skies. There's a definitive line from Duluth all the way down towards eastern Iowa. That's going to continue to advance eastward, and by tomorrow, we'll be seeing a little bit of sunshine after getting about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of rainfall across most of the NBC 26 viewing area. Temperatures, matter of fact, they will be slowly climbing going out into the rest of the evening hours, but then eventually by tomorrow morning cooling off into the upper 40s. Ryan?
All right, thanks, Gino. Well, to an NBC 26 update, the man who went missing while trying to find his dog has died. The body of 63-year-old Kevin McClintock was found in the Mullet River from a group of kayakers. The sheriff's office had begun a search for McClintock, but that search was eventually called off. His body was found outside the search zone. McClintock was trying to save a dog Thursday morning. And the Racine County Sheriff's Office arrested 2 people for carrying a large amount of drugs last night. Charlene Jackson and Terrence Thomas were driving on I-41 when they drove past a construction zone traveling 20 miles over the speed limit. The Sheriff's Office say that there was a large smell of marijuana coming from the car, and deputies say they found over 120 grams of heroin mixed with fentanyl and 7 grams of marijuana. Both have been taken to the Racine County Jail. Well, former Vice President Joe Biden is going on the attack, launching a new ad against President Trump in 4 early primary states. It comes as the impeachment inquiry into the president intensifies following a whistleblower complaint that the president tried to get foreign government to help his 2020 re-election efforts. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest.
As the House impeachment inquiry intensifies, President Trump went to his Virginia golf club and railed against that probe and his political opponents on Twitter. Senator Mitt Romney in the president's crosshairs after the Utah Republican broke with much of his party, dubbing Trump's efforts to get China and Ukraine to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden wrong and appalling. Using off-color language, the president called Romney pompous.
We'll obviously do all the things we're required to do by law.
In Greece Saturday, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo dismissed the inquiry as a silly gotcha game and appeared to boost the unfounded conspiracy theory that Ukraine, not Russia, interfered in the 2016 U.S. election.
I think everyone recognizes that governments have an obligation, indeed a duty, to ensure that elections happen with integrity, without interference from any government, whether that's the Ukrainian government or any other.
Pompeo, the White House, Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani, and Vice President Mike Pence now facing subpoenas as Democrats investigate Trump's efforts to pressure Ukraine into investigating Joe Biden and the appearance that the president held up a military aid package for Ukraine until the Ukrainians agreed to launch an investigation.
I'm only interested in corruption. I don't care about politics. I don't care about Biden's politics.
The former vice president had been reluctant to legitimize the president's attacks, but now the gloves are off.
All this talk of the president about corruption comes from the most corrupt president we've had in modern history. He's the definition of corruption.
Responding to the congressional subpoena, a White House spokesperson insisted the president did nothing wrong. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
In Eau Claire, more than 100 soldiers said goodbye to their friends and family on Friday to begin a mission in Ukraine. 165 soldiers with the state's National Guard are continuing a project that has been in the work for 4 years. They left Camp Douglas yesterday to help to train and advise the Ukrainian armed forces. The soldiers will be helping the Ukrainian army better integrate with NATO nations. For the next few weeks, soldiers will train at Fort Bliss in Texas. The team will then deploy to Ukraine for at least 9 months. And Senator Bernie Sanders boarded a plane in Las Vegas to return to his home state of Vermont after suffering a heart attack earlier this week. The 78-year-old Democratic presidential candidate has been hospitalized after experiencing discomfort Tuesday evening. He had to have 2 stents placed in a blocked artery. In a statement, the senator said he was feeling better and would be taking a short time off to recover. This is the second time in 2 months that health problems have forced Senator Sanders to cancel campaign events. We'll still head here on NBC 26. Halloween is just around the corner. See all the fun happening at Lambeau Field today. But first, here's a live look outside. A gloomy day, a gloomy fall day. What's the weather looking like for the rest of the weekend? We'll check back in with Gino after the break.
And now, your NBC 26 Storm Shield forecast with meteorologist Gino Recchia.
Well, we started off with quite a bit of cloud cover this morning, and that cloudiness did persist into the early afternoon, and associated with this cloud cover was the rainfall. So not the gloomy or even the best start to the weekend, but we are going to be seeing some more comfortable weather, especially as we get into tomorrow and going all the way into Wednesday. Some dry weather, finally, much needed dry weather across the Badger State. Here we got a low pressure right now moving eastward and a cold front draping down to the south. Initial heavier bands of rainfall have now moved off to the east. We got some drier weather that's going to filter in on the backside. However, you see some of that rainfall up in Minnesota. There could be just a little bit of instability later on in the afternoon and evening tomorrow. That areas north of Highway 29 could see maybe an afternoon or evening sprinkle, but we're all going to start off with a little bit of sunshine. Right now, we are dealing with still more sprinkles heading into the Green Bay area, Shawano, Appleton, down into the southern Fox Valley, all lifting up to the northeast. And there is some milder temperatures that'll be moving in here as well. But now, with all that rainfall, we continue to add on to the wettest year on record. Currently, just over 40.5 inches of precipitation that can include snow melted down to rain, sleet, freezing rain, and of course, right now, some rain. Skycast keeps the chance of a few drizzle, light rain shower into the late evening hours. But as we pretty much strike midnight, most of that off to the east, and the clouds will quickly dissipate by the morning hours tomorrow. So if you're heading to church, maybe a brunch, you don't need the umbrella, but it will be a little bit on the cooler side. Overnight lows dropping down to near 50 degrees. By the afternoon, we warm up into the 60s, but here we are late tomorrow evening. Like I mentioned, just a little bit of instability could spark off a few sprinkles, especially farther to the north you live. And by Monday, turning out to be a pretty comfortable day as well. We're at 53 right now. Winds have been starting to pick up out of the southeast. Eventually, they'll start to turn out of the southwest later on tonight. Our sunset is at 6:26 p.m. Temperatures across the area are coolest up to the north. Antigo at 49, Sister Bay at 52. We've got 54 in Sheboygan and Manitowoc, and 54 right now in Appleton. The winds have been steady, about 5 to 15, near 20 miles per hour. The lakeside areas have been seeing some higher sustained winds between 20 to 25 miles per hour. Makes sense since there's really no friction over Lake Michigan as those winds are coming from the southeast. And the winds will remain breezy going all the way into tomorrow evening, but then they'll start to subside later on by the late evening hours tomorrow. But temperatures, at least that sunshine should help us after waking up in the morning hours in the upper 40s. We get up into the lower to mid 60s, and that sun, like I mentioned, will make it feel a little bit warmer. So overnight low temperatures 48. The rain will be ending. Southwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, we warm up to high of 63. A lot of sunshine out there. Late in the evening, could have a few sprinkles. And then that dry weather continues all the way through next week, Thursday. We do see a chance of a few sprinkles and rain showers starting to move in here as we get towards late Thursday night and carrying over into Friday and Saturday.
60s and sunny, I'll take that.
Yeah, fine. It's nice dry weather. That's the main thing.
I'll take that. No more rain, at least for the time being,
yes,
which is always good news. Thanks, Gino. We'll still head here on NBC 26. See all the fun at Lambeau Field today as many people got in the Halloween spirit. Spooktacular is next. And plus, speaking of the Packers, we go back live with Brandon with more on tomorrow's game. Well, the scariest month of the year is now here, and Lambeau Field is getting in the Halloween spirit. The free public event happening today at Lambeau Field in the atrium. It's featured some magic, comedy, and a variety of different October-themed acts. For kids, they got a chance to get their face painted and go through a hay bale maze. It's a sign that fall is definitely here in Northeast Wisconsin.
The kids just enjoy it. They like the shows. They like to watch those. They like the different activities, the pumpkins, the cookies. So it's just a fun event to come to.
The kids also got the opportunity to decorate Halloween-themed cookies. And it's been a slow start for the Green Bay run game this year. We're coming back up after the break. We go back to Dallas, check in with Brandon, and he breaks down the run game. You're watching NBC 26 at 6.
This is NBC 26 Sports.
The last time the Packers played in Dallas, Aaron Jones had a breakout game. In his first career start, the then rookie ran for 125 yards and a key score as the Packers beat the Cowboys 35-31. Tomorrow, he'll be relied upon heavily once again. Sports director Brandon Kennard joins us live from Dallas.